Happy birthday to me. Kind of. As though I didn't need another reminder of just how old I am. I have been on BookTube or YouTube a year on September 30th, which feels so far away from this. We're gonna get started. Just start. That's what they say. You just have to start. How do you start? I don't know. Hi, my name's Nick. Yeah, he figured it out. And I'm sure some people would wish that he would stop figuring it out even more. So, hi, I'm Nick. This is DrCrankyPantsReads, and this is... Hey, don't touch my cake! Stay away. No, don't you come over. No, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Boston, you stay there. Rude. In today's video, I am just going to chat through the last year, what it has been like, where the state of my channel is, things that I have done, things that were surprising, and maybe things that I'm hoping to do. So, it's a long overdue notes to self. I haven't done one of these in about 3-ish months now. And so I'm excited to dig in with you. So let's get the theme rolling and let's go. Let's go. Oh, you're a cake goblin. Cake goblin. Okay, I will eat more of that later. So yeah, it's been a year. Gosh, has it been a year? So I thought for this notes to self, it would be nice to go over kind of some of the things that, literally a year has brought me in kind of an unscripted way. So I'm going to blabble. We're making it happen. I'm going to blabble through some things. Let's start with actual numbers, because those are always somewhat helpful to work with. What are the numbers that we're currently at? And, how do I feel being a year older? How do my knees feel being a year older? Oh, that's the question. 365 days. I've got some sticky notes just because I did some quick research before we started this. Over the course of the last 365 days, I have published 209 shorts and 107 long form videos. Very few of them are actual masterpieces, but I mean, that's a fair amount of work when, I don't know, you're anyone other than Kevin Towell, right? Like, he probably hears these numbers and thinks, 209 shorts, 107 long forms. That was my Wednesday. Good for you, Kevin. And I mean that in the most delightful way. Good for you. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm still here a year after and still have lots of ideas, just not a lot of time. I am also at 918 subscribers, to whom I say thank you immensely. I started at 0, like literally a year ago today I had 0. So the fact that 918 subscribers is here that's really intense to me. And 1,700 watch hours this year. I really started this channel as a way to give myself an authentic context for learning some editing skills. And I'm actually pretty happy with where I am. Here's some things that I'm proud of, as in thinking about the videos that I've put out over the course of the last year. I keep thinking about the very first, like, I got a push from MJ in the beginning. Thank you, MJ. I always appreciate you, period. But I really appreciate like the work that you do for burgeoning you booktubers, and the community work that you do there. And then Evening Reader had tagged me in a video where I tried to put my future self into conversation with my past self. And one, I'm proud of myself for thinking that that was something I could do. Like, I think if I have a superpower, it's essentially just jumping into stuff, just doing something and thinking, what's the worst that could happen? No one's going to die. The possibility of shame, particularly as I get older, just, kind of goes away. And so I did it, and that really wasn't perfect. The timing was off. The way that past Nick looks with present Nick, and not having great ideas around how to block, and just I'm so proud of that video, but also it taught me so much. And so when you look at something that's taught you so much, you see it and you're like, oh, I made that mistake and I made that mistake and I made that mistake. But you have to step back, I think, and remind yourself, yeah, but because I made those mistakes, I didn't make other mistakes. I didn't do other things that wouldn't have been awesome. So I'm super proud of that video. That was somewhat high concept-ish in terms of production value. I don't know what I'm doing. So it seemed to work. I'm pretty happy with it. I also really loved my Familiaris vlog. That was fun to put together. That was fun to think about narrative storytelling. Kind of like, I don't know that I necessarily, again, met that. I don't know that I met that goal of like telling the story of the trip I was on while I was reading Familiaris, but it did prove to me that I could pull together lots of different footage and keep it somewhat organized. I don't feel like I could do that right now, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. In terms of recent videos, I was really happy with the weather tag. I felt like that video really just came together well. I don't know if it looked particularly awesome, but the just the editing process, when I think about that first video with end of year tag. Was it end of year tag? It might have been end of year tag. End of year freak out? Oh, I should have written it down. I felt like the editing process for that was just so... It was just easier. It wasn't easier. It was easier because I knew how, right? And I had to come back to that Franny Craddock kind of statement that I pulled from...
Easy when you know how, isn't it?
What was that? Was that in... That might have been in the Thanksgiving video? Oh, I forgot about that one too. Oh, that was super fun. Like working through all the cookbooks to construct my Thanksgiving menu. That was also good. Oh, and the Martha Stewart wreath. Oh, I forgot about that one too. Actually, I didn't forget about that one. I talked about that, making that wreath earlier with one of my colleagues, and they were like, I want to make one. And I was like, before you do, let me show you the actual process, because I videotaped everything there. Oh, So, I mean, I've done some cool things so far on my channel. And I'm so happy that some of that has resonated with people. I'm really thrilled that people are finding stuff that's interesting with what I'm doing, though my own timing continues to be a challenge. Um, my job is very different a year after. Very different. And that's impacted how much I can film, how much bandwidth I have to film, because this is on top of everything else. And that's been hard. It's been really, really hard when work is like that unhappy of a place. That unhappy of a place. I am hoping that in year 2, I will be here more. I will be here more fully. I want to channel a little bit of book chat with Pat, but not like Pat's just amazing, right? She does everything. I don't know that I have the bandwidth for that. I can barely respond to comments right now. That's how much bandwidth I have. But I'm looking forward to being back here more and need to figure out how to do that. So there have been some things that have gotten in the way, and I think every booktuber, every YouTuber experiences those things where stuff takes their attention away. I dated for a bit this summer. Didn't work out, but that took away some time, but also allowed me to be like, yeah, I still date occasionally. Occasionally. I'm not a total curmudgeon yet. Um, I feel like technically when I think about that end goal of wanting to get better at editing, am I like editor extraordinaire? Not yet. Let's talk equipment for a second, because I've made some upgrades, and DJI mics, Erie Beverly, thank you so much. You were the one who was like, sound, what's up? You said it much nicer than that. You said it so much nicer than that. But that's really got me pushed. That really pushed me to be thinking about ways to improve my sound, hence the DJI mics, which I like. I like them. They're fine. They work out really, really well. For the most part, I've figured out how on Premiere Pro how to get the audio to work out. Premiere Pro is another thing that I don't regret. Oh my gosh, I do not regret, even though it was so annoying in the beginning because CapCut is so easy. It's such an easy program, but you don't actually know why you're doing things. And maybe if I was still using CapCut, like I'd be able to get more stuff out, but I don't know. I really like the Premiere Pro. I like the level of control. I do feel sometimes like I need to get back to that space where things aren't going to be perfect. I just need to put it out there. Like I've got probably 7-ish videos that are in multiple states of editing, and I just haven't figured out how to get the effect that I want with them. And so I just need to, at some point, let it go because things are just bottlenecking. I mean, I have videos from March that I need to finish working on because everything's filmed, So, but I don't regret Premiere Pro at all. The learning curve was high, and the learning curve continues to be high. Like I feel like I am bare bonesing it with Premiere Pro in terms of what it can actually do. So I haven't had much time to plan, period. But I I think that there's a couple of things that I want to be doing better in Premiere Pro. But I haven't had a chance to like list them out in bullet point. I'm going to hopefully get back into these notes to myself, and I will update with those, but happy with the Premiere Pro. Not so happy with the MacBook Pro. I bought a new MacBook Pro back in the spring. It was either March or April, and I have not been blown away by it. And I don't know if that's because of the configuration that I bought. I don't know that if it's because of everything else that I have on it, because it is a Pro and my prior model was a MacBook Air. And I didn't have as much heavy lift software on the MacBook Air as I do on the MacBook Pro. A lot of my work data analysis software is on the MacBook Pro. And so I'm trying to be kind in terms of, am I asking this computer to do too much? And that could very well be the case. I could be asking this computer to just do too much. And, you know, whenever you ask anyone to do too much when they can't do it, you know, you're going to be disappointed and you need to deal with the fact that you caused that. So it hasn't been the seamless Premiere Pro machine that I thought it would be. I do still find I have to sometimes close out of a project and reopen it. I don't know that it was a necessary purchase. I have it, so it'll be fine. It's a solid computer. I also got a DJI Osmo, and that's been fun to play around with. I've used it a couple of different times. Still really like my my tripods, and I've got the standing tripods, and then I've got a tripod that hooks onto things, and you know, you'll see that you'll literally see that in the cooking video. Hi, do you want to come up now? Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, hi. Hi. Teleprompter. Yes, still totally like my teleprompter. Really like the teleprompter. I like it for sit-down videos a lot. Also, green screen, super fun. Premiere Pro, MacBook Pro, DJI mics, and an Osmo. And I'm impressed at what I can do with that. Like, even the Osmo, I don't know that I necessarily needed it. Really? But it has been fun to play with. And I would like to think through some different ways to play with it. One of the things that I keep thinking is, at some point you're going to reach the limits of like what you can self-teach. I might be there. Like, there's certain things that I feel I could be doing, but I don't know that they're a possibility yet. I am looking into classes. I am looking to see if the community college is offering anything. Things I've learned about myself. I have never been a perfectionist, ever. I have been a detail person. And video making has helped me appreciate details. I don't always get them right. I very rarely get them right. But I'm getting better at them. Like, I look at that first video. Oh, now let's look at the R.L. Stine video, because, oh gosh, that may be one of those I go back and I may redo that one at some point, because man, that sucked. I mean, it didn't suck. It didn't suck. Here's what was good about that video. All 41 views, I think there's like an hour and a half of watch time on that video. I did it. I pulled together a concept. I didn't quite know how to plan it. I didn't quite know what I was doing, and I did it. Right? Like, Was it the best? No, not the best video. Very, 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 very not the best video. But I did it. And that's something. That's something. So it's taught me about details. I'm letting down myself a little bit because the only way you get better at this is by doing it and by pushing a little further. Hey, what is that? Is that a tick? No. Okay. Just checking. So I do feel a little bit badly about that I am not carving out enough time for me to practice the thing that I want to get good at. And am currently actively trying to figure out how to carve out time for that, where I'm not in work, emergency, trauma mode all the time. It's delightful stuff. I think my last notes to self actually was about Carl. And if you don't know, Carl's a booktuber who always has really interesting thoughts, really interesting takes on reading and what he's doing. And he just went away because there were some crappy things that happened to him. And I was not going to do a notes to self that month because I didn't have the bandwidth. But that struck me as something that I had some thoughts on, and like I could not get the thoughts to go away. So I drafted a quick script. It was like I was on the forensics team in high school again, and filmed it, and it kind of blew up. I don't know if it blew up. I mean, it had, I don't know, 7,000 views, something like that. I don't know if that's blowing up. I think that's just like ruptured. It ruptured. There we go. It ruptured. I appreciate everyone who found my channel from that. Everyone who subscribed, everyone who left a comment that I probably still haven't responded to. And it was a really disconcerting experience for me. I'm not despite having a YouTube channel, a center of attention kind of person. Like as a teacher, that's not how that works. And suddenly it was lots of attention, and it didn't feel particularly organic. And that really threw me for a loop. Because one, it's a video that I didn't plan. Like that was bare minimum preparation. I wrote a script, loaded it into the teleprompter. I was already feeling bad because impossible creatures read along. I had kind of messed that up. I didn't kind of, why am I hedging? I messed that up. Bookish Traveler and Book Nook Librarian, I am still so sorry for how that worked out. Life happened. And I screwed that up. And then you go from that to this video that you didn't put a lot of planning into hitting and rupturing. And it was this weird, like, what am I doing any longer? What is going on? And at that same time, like, I'm releasing all those videos for class, and it feels like people know how those videos are connected to who I am, who were with me before. And it threw me into a weird headspace. really weird headspace. YouTube will screw with you, and it was certainly having its way with me. But I'm back to it on my terms versus algorithmic terms, because there is always this, like, not gonna lie, there was such a dopamine hit every time I looked into the numbers, like, oh, another 200 people. Like, I had not experienced anything like that in terms of viewer growth. And as much as I was uncomfortable with it, it was totally a dopamine hit. And so there's still residual feelings of that. My last video was on Texas A&M and the things that were happening in children's literature there, which are BookTube adjacent. And as I was pulling it together, as I was pulling together the scripts, pulling together the research, oh shoot, I still did not publish or edit to include the links. Lovely. I was really having I was really trying to figure out, is this something that I should be publishing? How does this connect to who I want to be in this space? And ultimately did decide that, yes, this is something that I want to talk about. This is something that connects with things around stuff that I talk about in my BookTube channel. But there is this, I want to remain grounded in why I came to this space, to learn new things, to make connections, and I need to, support those connections better than I've been doing lately. Like, I have been a crappy BookTube community member. I think as long as I'm still interested in the kinds of work I can do in this space, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. But that has been a weird thing to work through. A really weird thing to work through. There's been a couple of things that have been truly surprising. And the first is just what nice people exist out there. I really enjoy interacting with subscribers and other booktubers, and I miss doing that on a more intentional plane. So if you've commented on my channel and I have not responded, I'm so sorry. I've really been working to get better, carving out that comment time and carving out SEO time, and what does your thumbnail look like, and how do you make sure your thumbnails are accessible and high contrast, and all of those things I think, if anything, I've been really, really surprised about how long the back end work takes. And I strive to be a little bit more Alan Reads than Nick at this point. Where I think the thing that Alan pulls off so effortlessly is, one, the British accent. I mean, come on. But also the easy breezy approach to what he does. And I'm probably never going, I'm gonna probably be a little bit higher maintenance than Alan is with his videos. But with the weather video, I felt like I knew what I was doing. And a year into it, maybe there are, some things that I know better now. I've gotten better at them. and I just want to keep getting better at them. And that's maybe what makes it easy breezy, is I'm not having to look up how to do something 18 gazillion times, which, true story, that has certainly happened. That has certainly happened. But I'm excited for what I have got planned and what I am working on. And at this point, I need to activate like my completionist brain set in terms of just like finishing a project out. I'm in that phase where this isn't the only hobby that's competing for my time. The holidays are a-coming. People need knitted hats. I'm also learning how to knit socks, which that has been interesting. Never thought I'd be a sock knitter. I'm still not sure that I'll be a sock knitter ever, but I do like the tubular cast on, though. It is finicky as all get out. And magic loop. Surprisingly more useful than I thought it would be. Right? But I'm excited to put out some new stuff. I'm excited to pick up some old series. I'm happy I'm still around. I'm happy I'm still doing things with this work, with this YouTube channel. And I think, I mean, as always, I really appreciate you. Literally. It's been a year of saying that. And it's never been more true. I appreciate you. Even if I don't reply to comments. So sorry. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this Notes to Self. My next one, I'll try to make one. I'll just try to make it. Let's set the bar low, shall we? But two, I'll be a little bit more structured. Yeah? Structured. I'll be a little bit more structured. Thanks so much for a year. It has been a delight, and I'm looking forward to seeing what my terrible twos look like. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that.